Good afternoon, everyone. Guys, the world has literally gone mad. I tried doing this video earlier, we had a power cut, then my computer decided to reset itself. The power came back on, and guys, literally in the space of 4 hours, like, things have just gone absolutely insane in the UK. There's a manhunt for someone, there's a manhunt in the UK. There is an incident at a school in Liverpool, involving 2 children where there's been an outbreak and a stomach bug, and apparently, as we understand it now, 2 children aged 5 and 6 have tragically, they're not with us anymore. Guys, what is happening in the world? You can see how quickly these things escalate, and let me guess, guys, you still haven't got some bottles of water in your cellar. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm being old-fashioned. So what are we going to talk about today? Guys, I'm going to talk about the Chinese and Belarusian drills on the exercise on the Polish border. We did a deeper dive into that earlier on this morning. I'm going to talk about the NATO summit. We're going to talk about Russia potentially using chemical weapons in Ukraine. We're going to talk about more air defences pledged to Ukraine and what that actually means. More people as well in the mainstream or military, they're starting to wake up about the West's lack of military production capacity. Guys, I'm going to be putting a lot of speculation in this so you guys know what's coming next. Because if we don't speculate, we never know what's coming next. If we only report on what's happening right now, we're never going to be able to talk about what's coming in the future and the possible different outcomes that may lead. So guys, let's just get on with it then. So more people are literally waking up, and I'm seeing that now as a daily, thing. More people are coming out and saying, putting their hands up and saying, look guys, we don't have X, Y, and Z. So let me just read you quickly an article from the General Sir Patrick Saunders. General Sir Patrick Saunders calls on NATO members ahead of the 75th anniversary meeting in Washington to focus on rearming to quell a threat rising from what he dubs the new Axis powers, Russia, China, and Iran. You can't disagree with that, guys. The former army chief has warned. Remember, guys, what's really, to me, it's always like I just want to bang my head on a brick wall. These army chiefs, they always come out, and it's after they've left the role, they're very vocal. It's after they've left that job where they've actually got the influence, where they can actually do stuff. It's only after they leave that role, they start saying, oh, look, this is wrong, that's wrong, we need to do that, we need to do that. Why didn't he do it when he was in post? Why didn't he do this? Why didn't he fix this while he was in post? It happens all the time, People are head of the military, you don't hear anything from them, then as soon as they're retired, then they start being very vocal. But, it is what it is. A former army chief has warned members of NATO the world is facing as dangerous a moment as any time that we have had since 1945, as he called on members to reinvest into their arms. I don't think he means these things. I think he means the military-industrial complex. Guys, what I will say with this arming and this rearming of systems, yes, we need to spend more money. We need to give the soldiers a pay rise, ultimately. That's like the first thing. We need to spend our money better. I know that from, I can say this with 100% certainty. There's an ongoing funding opportunity in the UK, and the UK are paying £15,000 for a drone. Now, this drone has a certain amount of capability, and I'll put the link in the description. This drone, it's got to do a certain thing. I know that the Ukrainians are building the same, and it's battle tested for $1,000. So we're paying 15 times more than the Ukrainians are. I don't know how we can compete with these things. It's very difficult. So we need to spend our money better. We need to get rid of red tape. Otherwise, our own bureaucracy is gonna, it's gonna suffocate us. What else have we got? I'll read you another one here, guys. So that's from General Patrick Saunders, and this is a little bit of an old article. It's from when's it from? From March. Get defence wrong and tax cuts won't matter. We need armoured mass now. Hamish de Breton Gordon, former commanding officer of 1st Royal Tank Regiment, writes, "The government's lack of major defence announcements in the budget is short-sighted, and the Ukraine conflict proves size does matter." Guys, of course it does. Look at the amount of tanks that the Russians can field as opposed to how I think the UK have 200 tanks. Of them, you can pretty much guarantee 50 of them don't work. So the 150 that are left, of those, I'd probably say a good half of them aren't at full capacity. That's just me speculating, guys. I've got no other, that is just me speculating from my own military knowledge. So when you look at these things, yes, a technological advanced tank is better, but more is also more. So at some point, you've got this, I don't want to say Overton window, but there'll be something where more is going to beat technology, but also technology is going to beat more, and it's just that balance of power. How many more is going to beat what level of technology? So more people are coming out and talking about this now, guys, which I think is a good thing. So also as a backdrop, and I'm going to try and keep this video short, guys. Okay, also as a backdrop, you've got the NATO summit that's now started. The main topics will no doubt be Ukraine following the recent escalations. You've got Joe Biden coming out and he's pledging more air defense. He's also said that Ukraine will stop Russia, or it will stop Putin. It's very interesting to me when people come out and say Ukraine's going to win, Ukraine's going to stop Putin. What does that actually mean? I know in a football game what it means if you win. In this war, what is a win? What do the Russians see as a win? What do the Ukrainians see as a win? What's everybody's expectations? Because these words are bounded around, but unless we can identify a meaning to that word, the words are meaningless. So yes, it's good that people are pledging, that Ukraine will stop Putin. What does stopping mean? Ukraine will win. What does win mean, and at what cost? So all these things are, they're just words that are conjured up to try and conjure some emotional response from people, but without the meaning attached to them words, it's kind of worthless. Now, it's interesting that they're talking about the air defense, because I've been highlighting to you guys on this channel and our other channel about the air defense and the coming air wars. Guys, everybody knows this is going to happen. Now, a couple of months back, what am I thinking of? Yeah, Poland came out and they said they wanted to secure the airspace over Ukraine with their F-16s. Now, it kind of went under the radar and not many people joined these dots. It's recently come out that Poland have now had a bilateral security agreement with Ukraine. So what does that mean? What are the nuts and bolts of that? I'm going to speculate that in that agreement, it's something along the lines of, hey, Poland, we're going to protect your airspace with our F-16s. And that's it, guys, all right? As soon as that happens, that means that the Ukrainian F-16s will be flown from Poland, because there'll be no way anybody can say otherwise. How is the Russians going to tell whether that is a Polish F-16 leaving an airfield on a defensive sortie, or a Ukrainian F-16 leaving the same airfield on an offensive sortie? It's going to be virtually impossible to tell the difference. So then Russia are going to be left with the decision: do the Russians strike Poland, which is a NATO country, and that is definitely an Article 5 incident. I don't know the answers, guys. I'm telling you, that's the next decision the Russians are going to have to make if this bilateral security agreement between Poland and Ukraine is as I think it is. Let me just quickly read you from... Where are we? Right, okay. Yeah, so another one here, guys, okay? So from the same guy, the Colonel Hamish de Breton Gordon, a NATO expert and military specialist on chemical weapons, which is going to be interesting. The war could end sooner than expected and more than likely in a tragic way. The West can no longer ignore this threat. We must act now to prevent another world war. So guys, you see now more people are coming out and talking about this problem. More people are understanding what the actual stakes are and how things could escalate at a moment's notice. Guys, the power went off at my house for like, what, 4 hours. I turned the news and I was like, oh, wow, what has just happened? Literally in the space of 4 hours. If you remember, I think Sunday, when everybody went to bed Sunday, it looked like there could be a peace talk or a peace negotiation in Ukraine. Monday morning, no way. All that's being thrown out the window. It's definitely not. We're not looking like a peace agreement anytime soon, guys. So that's the reality of how quickly these things can move forwards. And it's just absolutely insane how quickly these things can move. Let's not forget as well that at this NATO summit, there'll be backdoor agreements, there'll be handshakes, there'll be unsubstantiated agreements between world leaders, what to do, and all this sort of stuff's happening in real time, and nothing is hidden anymore, guys. You can, if you know where to look, all this information's in front of you. So let me read another article, guys, now about chemical weapons. Now, I'll put this link in the bio, guys, in the description, sorry. So, Putin, again, I don't know whether this is true. This is from April 24. If it is, we'll see. Putin has deployed chemical weapons. We need gas masks now. New defence spending must include funding for countering the poison gas Russia is deploying against the Ukrainians. Guys, I don't know if this has happened or not. I'm just reading this article and I'll put this in the description. But the reason I'm mentioning it now, we should all, as human beings, be looking at these situations. And if you think the threat is of such that you may need a gas mask, guys, go and get one now. Make sure it's got a rubber seal around the outside. Because guess what? When these things start to happen rapidly, these things will just be pulled off the shelves at a rapid rate of knots, and there'll be none left, and then you'll be waiting for the government, and you'll have to wait for somebody to issue you one. And guys, if you've seen anything over the last 4 years, you know how ridiculously slow this is. Finally then, guys, I did a video earlier on the military drills between Belarus and China on the Polish border. If you've not seen that, I will link that to the end of this video, so it'll be up there somewhere in like 30 seconds or something. But basically, the Belarusians and the Chinese are doing military drills now right on the border with Poland in a place called Brest. The significance of Brest is the rail network that links basically Moscow through Belarus to Warsaw and of course Europe. If there was a conflict to break out, these key hubs, they would be of huge strategic importance, because the Russians, the Eastern Europeans, they transport a lot of their stuff by rail, and that is a key location. So that's why they're doing it there. On the counter argument to that, you've got the Polish, border force. They've really fortified that border around that area. Now, from the Belarusian side, they're going to be saying the Polish are going to seize the train station. That's why we've got to reinforce it. The Polish are saying, no, we're reinforcing it because that's where you send the migrants, and then the migrants try and get over. So you see these escalations, guys. There's two sides to these escalations, and if there's no dialogue, these things will just get worse because nobody's talking. People make mistakes. People get things, misinterpreted. For example, the exercise, I've read 7 articles on this exercise, and the exercise, some people are calling it, I think I did it better in the video that'll be coming up in a minute. It's either called Eagle Attack or Falcon Attack or something. Now, 2 very different contexts there. Falcon Attack, nothing. Eagle Attack kind of means America attack. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Watch these 2 videos if you can, if you've got time, and I'll see you later, guys. I'm going back to grid.